Hey guys, it's Scott here and welcome to my Premier League predictions for the upcoming season of 18-19. Hopefully you enjoy it. I also want your predictions in the comment section down below, as well as the other stuff that I'll talk about after we've gone through the table. But hopefully you enjoy the video. If you do, hit the thumbs up to show your support, and subscribe if you're new if you want to see more videos and streams to do with football and FIFA. So we're going to go from bottom up, and it's going to be difficult, but let's get into it. So first things first. Cardiff are bottom. I mean, I think that pretty much every single person that is doing these kind of predictions is going to put them at the bottom because they haven't invested like the other promoted teams and stuff like that. They just really look like they're going to struggle. So Cardiff are going to be topping up the bottom of the table for me this season right there. Then we will move on to 19th place. Now, this is a little bit more, pretty much anywhere, I would say, other than Cardiff, up to about 7th, seems like it could be all over the place in the Prem now. It's ridiculous. But I have gone with Watford, which may be a little bit controversial. But I just don't feel like, after Marco Silva went and stuff like that, they've now lost Richarlison as well. I don't know if their team is really just that great. I've not really been inspired by watching them. They got Gray and Deeney up front, who aren't the greatest in the world, and they're still relying on them to smash it. So I don't know. I don't think that they're incredible nowadays. So I'm putting them all the way down there. Like I say, maybe controversial. Next, we're going with Huddersfield. I had them to finish bottom, I think, last year. Wagner did a good job, but I don't think that they've recruited as well as some of the other teams. So potentially this may be that fateful second year that people always talk about in the Prem, and maybe this will see Huddersfield go down. Next, I've gone with another team that came up last time, and that is Brighton. I think that they've got just a little bit more, and they've signed a couple of decent players like Montoya, which is not bad, and also Johan Bach is a big signing for them. If he performs well, they could easily finish way higher than what I've put them here. But again, like I say, it's so difficult to judge these positions that any of these could be swapped around, but this is what I'm sticking to. I'm not afraid to be wrong. We're going for it. Last time I think I got 4 teams right, something like that. Next we go with Crystal Palace. Now, this is a bit different. Obviously, this probably would have I probably would have put them in like the bottom 3 if they had lost Zaha, but he will probably be good enough, potentially just on his own, to keep them up. So I think Palace have got just about a good enough squad or whatever. Roy did really well when he came in last season, so I'm expecting him to just about do the job this season. Next to go with Newcastle in 15th. Now, Newcastle are another one where they've not invested that well. They have probably really not been happy with their transfer window. Rafa, it looks like he is going to stay, which is pretty good for Newcastle fans because you couldn't blame him if he left. With the transfer situation, the owner's situation, it's just a nightmare. So I think that they'll still stay up, mainly probably because of Rafa, but they're not in a good spot right now. Next, I'm going to go with Bournemouth. Again, Bournemouth have done a few bits and bobs in the transfer window. Actually broke their record signing up to 25 mil, which is not too bad for them. But they just didn't really do that well last year. I wasn't really, again, excited to watch them. Their defence, they faced so many shots and conceded. So I'm just going to put them as a bang average, like 14th. And next is probably the biggest fall from grace for me from what happened in last season's table. And I'm going to put Burnley down at 13th, assuming that they are taking the Europa League seriously. If they're not, then maybe I'd put them higher. But I think that they're going to focus on that, and I don't think that their squad is huge enough to fully accommodate for that. It's a lot of games, right? And also they got a little bit lucky last year in terms of some of the results and some of the fact that, for example, they conceded like 13 goals less than they were expected to, yada, yada, yada. So I think that they'll drop down a little bit, but still do quite well. Next, I'm going to put one of the new boys. I'm going to go with Fulham at 12th. Now, the issue that I have with Fulham is I could put them higher or I could put them right near the bottom. And it all depends on just how well all of their new signings gel. They've made some great signings, but as I say, it depends how well they play together, how well they play under the manager. So they're a very, very tough team to judge, but they were decent last year, and they've made, like I say, significant signings such as Seri. So we'll see. Then I've gone with Southampton. Maybe this is the year that Southampton try and kick on a little bit. They've just signed Danny Ings on loan from Liverpool, which is a good signing for them. If you have a fit Danny Ings, that's not bad. Especially when they've had a couple of strikers that haven't really done incredible, such like Gabbiadini and players like that. So he could be the guy that potentially rejuvenates them. And maybe they'll make a bit of a push this year. Then in 10th, a lot of people I think are going to have Wolves potentially a couple of places higher than this. Again, they've made mad signings. They smashed the Championship. It's exactly the same situation as Fulham, though. Are those new signings that they've made going to gel into the team and have that chemistry that means that they actually get the wins and the points that they need to get as high as they potentially deserve for the players and amount that they've spent? We'll have to wait and see, but they do definitely have a good squad. It's a deep squad as well. So I'm going to go and say that Wolves, top 10 finish, not bad. Next, I'm going to put us at 9th. I think I've predicted us finish 9th in the last 3 seasons or something like that. Last year I got it right. And the season before I think we finished 11th or 12th. But I think that we have made really, really solid signings. Our window has actually been incredible. But I just don't know whether the Riyadh factor is going to be too big of a thing for us to be able to deal with. So that's why I'm going to keep us at 9th and not go higher than that. After that, I've gone with West Ham at 8th. Now, the thing is with West Ham, again, they've brought in a decent manager and they've made some good signings yet again. But this is the case with so many teams. It's so difficult to know which new signings for which teams are going to actually work best. But I think West Ham have got a decent squad, again, good manager, and maybe they can push towards getting towards the European place like they did a couple of years ago. Now, we go with Everton. Now, some people may be predicting that, hey, there's a change in the top 6. I'm going to keep it the same this year, I think. Maybe next year there'll be a bit of a change, but I think this year we're going to keep the same. So Everton I'm going to put as 7th because, again, they've improved in a couple of areas that maybe they didn't have the greatest players in before. Made a couple of good signings on deadline day as well. Now they've got Marco Silva too. This could be Everton's year to try and push towards the top 6, but I don't think that they're going to break in. Then we move into our final 6, and obviously these are the big dogs. I'm going with Man U 6th. I don't think they've recruited well. They haven't fixed their centre-back situation, despite trying to sign 5 different ones on deadline day. They still haven't signed a proper right winger, unless they're playing Sanchez there. I don't think that they've invested where they needed to in this team. So, and with the Champions League as well, Mourinho's all over the place. It's his famous 3rd season where he normally falls out of favour. I don't think they're going to do that well. 5th, I'm going to go with Spurs. Now, they haven't bought anyone. They also haven't sold anyone, though. But they're moving into a new stadium, so there's potential for a little bit of unease and unrest. And again, the fact that they haven't really deepened their squad or added any depth, I don't know. Their starting 11 is one of the best in the league, but if someone like Kane gets injured, they're screwed, surely. So that's why I'm going to put them down at 5th. 4th, I'm going to go with Chelsea. Now, I was tempted to put them higher, but I think that under Sarri, even though they've, again, got a couple of good players, like Jorginho, etc., is really good for their system, and a new keeper as well, it may take a while for his style of football to fully integrate after the massive difference between his Sarri ball and Conte's 3 at the back. So maybe next season I'd put them higher, but this year I think that they'll take a little while to bed in. 3rd, I'm going to go with Arsenal. Unai Emery, it's going to be interesting to see how well he does, but I think people like Leno is a position they needed to upgrade. Still think they could have done a little bit more in defence. They did get Socrates. Is he the greatest that they could have signed? They could have signed Soyuncu, who we ended up signing, but missed out on him. But having Aubameyang and Lacazette with Mkhitaryan and Ozil in behind, you've got Guendouzi looks really good. Torreira looks good. Their team is exciting, and I'm actually looking forward to watch Arsenal for once in a while, so that could be pretty cool. Now, the final 2, I'm going with Liverpool to finish 2nd. I think this may be quite a common prediction, Liverpool 2nd. I mean, they've made great signings, and they're already an exciting team to watch. This is just going to make them even better. They've upgraded their midfield significantly, and their goalkeeper as well. It's big for them, but I just can't see anybody topping Man City, so obviously I'm putting them at the top. Their team is just too good, their squad is just too good. They've now added Riyadh, stolen from us, broken our hearts, as if they needed him. Like the other top 5 needed him, but there you go. So I'm going to go with Man City to win. Again, I don't think that's controversial at all. I think that most people are going to predict them to win it back-to-back, even though it's not happened for a couple of years. Maybe this is finally the one. Pep and their squad, it's just too much. So a couple of other things that people have asked me to predict, as well as this, are top scorer. Now, I feel like I've said the same thing for the last 3 years. If Aguero stays fit all season, I'll put him as top scorer. That's going to be my prediction. If he doesn't, I'm going to go with Aubameyang. I think that he smashed it last season when he was here. He's looking fit and sharp in pre-season, and I think that under this new style of football and the teammates he's got around him, he's really going to thrive. Player of the season, I mean, if Man City are going to win the league, then it's probably going to be one of theirs again. It might be KDB. I mean, he was sick last season. The only reason he didn't win it was because Salah absolutely smashed it. But I think that Liverpool's team are going to spread goals out a little bit more now that they've added in some different areas with like Keita and players like that, Shaqiri. So I'm going to go with KDB to win the Player of the Year. And then Young Player of the Year, it's stupidly hard. Like, because you don't know the rotation with Man City, I would like to say Sané again, because I think he's absolutely unbelievable. It's just the rotation, now that they've got Riyadh as well, it's difficult to say. But I'm going to put it out there, and I'm going to say him anyway. So, potentially a Man City treble for me, assuming everyone stays fit and my prediction of them winning the league is right. But again, if not, then I'll go with Aubameyang top scorer. But I think that is going to be it from me, so leave your predictions in the comment section down below. I would really love to see what you think is going to be the table and your predictions for top scorer and player of the season and stuff like that. Golden Glove, I guess, is the last one to end it off. I'm going to go with... Let's make things interesting. Let's go with Alisson. Let's not go with one of the other ones. So those are my predictions. Let me know yours in the comments. Hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed this stream. Hopefully you can tune in tomorrow. We will be back streaming again for some Foot Champs. Today I will be recording the vlog for the Man U away game. By the time you're seeing this, we're probably nearly kicking off and we're probably going to get smashed. But I will see you guys tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.